These are the pickups for week 17 that can help you win your fantasy football league. I'm not here to regurgitate the expert advice that you hear everywhere. In fact, I'm going to base what I say off of Justin Boone's waiver column at Yahoo Sports. He's one of the best fantasy analysts. He's #1 ranked in Fantasy Pros accuracy this year. If you've been following the channel, you know that I often disagree with fantasy experts. It's a big part of what's allowed me to win 36% of all my fantasy leagues the last 20 plus years. Here's Boone's list of the top 10 guys to pick up this week. I'm going to go through each of them as well as guys who aren't on this list and should be. First off, I can't understand why Michael Carter would be above Blake Corum. Corum has been a top 20 running back for 4 straight weeks. There's a solid chance that this game against the Falcons is a blowout and Corum gets more volume than usual. The Rams have also stated that they want to use Kyren Williams a little bit less to save him for the playoffs. Sorry if my assistant analyst gets a little fussy during this video, by the way. I'm a little lower on Michael Carter than most experts. I think that we're going to see more of an even backfield split in Arizona. They haven't been able to commit to a single guy ever since the James Conner injury. Super deep league dart would be Corey Kiner, who actually looked very solid on his one series, but I expect this Bengals game to be more of a shootout. It could actually be a good thing for Amari DeMarcado as well, who's the main receiving back on Arizona. If you're curious exactly where I rank all these guys, by the way, go to my site fansports.com. There you can see my rankings just for week 17, as well as start sit feature to help you pick the most accurate guys to start and sit in all those tricky lineup decisions that could determine whether you get first or second place. Manuel Wilson vaults to #1 if Josh Jacobs is out, so just monitor that. Taysom Hill's a very risky play still for me. I don't know if the New Orleans Saints are going to have him be the featured running back again. We hadn't seen that for weeks. I was a guy who was wrong about Audric Estime last week, but it could easily be this week is Audric Estime's time to be the main featured guy. I'll be the first to admit I'm not right every single time. Hey, this is why I'm Mr. 36%, not Mr. 100%, but at the same time, Audric Estime should get a little bit of an uptick. Troy Franklin and Parker Washington are the top receivers here, but I'm not sure they'd be the top guys for me. They're both in crowded wide receiver rooms. I'd actually have Josh Downs a notch above both of them. Yes, he's also in a crowded receiver room, but Phillip Rivers is favoring him, and he's seeing more route participation than he has all season long in the 2 games with Rivers. I'd also push Luther Burden if he is active, and we see Rome Odunze inactive. San Francisco's defense is pretty bad this year at this point, and so I would run wide receivers against them. Could be a shootout. I like what I've seen from Brenton Strange. He probably is my top tight end pickup this week if Colston Loveland is not available. Jags offense has looked great, coming into their own under Liam Cohen, and he looks like one of the favored red zone targets for Trevor Lawrence, but also can't deny that Dalton Schultz has been very consistent recently. Boone usually doesn't put quarterbacks on this list, but Tyler Shuck gets in at #8. I like Shuck. I've talked about him for weeks, but I'm a little bit lower on him than most experts, I think, at this point. I'm actually higher on Geno Smith, who I highlighted last week in Nesto's Crystal Ball, where I look 1 week ahead at top pickups. I also want to look at the myriad QBs who are now suddenly starting due to injuries. I may make a separate video about that if you guys are interested in the Josh Johnsons and whatnot of the world. Some of them could be league winners. Finally, Chris Rodriguez Jr. should be higher up. He's a guy who's the #1 running back on a team that should be in a fast-paced offensive matchup against Dallas this week. Gonna make a separate video for defense and kicker streaming this week. Go ahead and check out fansports.com if you're struggling with some start-sit questions and want to get a head start on your fantasy championship planning. Everyone who signs up before the end of this season gets a discount for FanSports next season. Really appreciate all you guys' support. Thank you for spending a few valuable minutes of your day with me here. Stay learning, go win some championships, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.